Alright guys, today we are going to be solving equations with multiplication and division. This means we're moving on from step 3, which was get rid of addition or subtraction, and moving to step 4, which is get rid of multiplication and division. And we'll see all this get combined here in a couple days. But right now we're going to just focus on the multiplication and division. Joke for the day is this: how do you get down from an elephant? Just wait and see. I'll teach you a lot today. Here we go. Guys, we still go ahead and draw the wall right through the equal sign. So we go ahead, draw the wall. When I do that, I then say to myself, well, this is -5 times x. To get rid of a times -5, I have to do the opposite of times -5, so I would divide by -5. Notice that I wrote the dividing with a little fraction bar. I did not write it like this. I don't want to see that. Write it as a line. So you do divide by -5 on both sides of the equal sign. Now, -5 divided by -5 is actually a +1, or some teachers will say they cancel out. They technically don't cancel out, they reduce out is the correct terminology. So all you have here is still 1x, or just x. Then you have -35 divided by -5. That's two negatives, which makes positive. 35 divided by 5 is +7. We do check this, so we rewrite the problem. You have -5x equals -35. Then you guys go ahead, you plug it in, you plug in your 7. And then what is -5 times 7? Well, that's going to be -35. So, hey, that checked out. They are exactly the same. That means 7 is my correct answer. Next one. On this one, I draw the wall, and then I say to myself, how do I get x by itself? Well, I have x divided by -3. Guys, to get rid of divided by -3, I do the opposite of divide, and I actually multiply. Guys, look at this, though. To show the multiplication, I specifically want you guys to use parentheses, and then you're multiplying by 3. So you actually have, this is -3x divided by -3. Well, -3 divided by -3, these will reduce out again, and you'll actually have just a +1, and that's going to be 1x. But whatever you do to one side of the wall, you have to do to the other side of the wall. So you're going to multiply by -3 over there. -3 times 21 is going to be a -63. Now, when you guys check, you guys rewrite the problem. Then you guys plug it in. So you guys go ahead, plug in that 63, -63. Divided by -3 is 21. Well, negative divided by negative is a positive, and 63 divided by 3 is 21, so you get 21 equal 21. That means -63 is your answer. Next one. On this right here, this says the negative of y divided by 8 is equal to -3. Well, guys, to get rid of a negative and divided by -8, or divided by 8, really this negative sign can just be applied down to this guy, because one negative in a division problem is still negative. So to get rid of the negative and the 8, we're just going to, or in the dividing by 8, we're just going to multiply by a -8 on both sides. When I do that, the 8s and the negatives are canceled out or reduced out, and you get y equals, then you have -3 times -8. That is two negatives make a positive, so that is a +24. From there, you guys do go ahead and check. Then you guys need to go ahead and plug in the 24. 24 divided by 8 is 3, and you have a negative out front, so that's a -3 equals -3. Hey, that checked out. Y is equal to 24. That is your answer. Next one. On this one, you have x divided by 2 4/10. So, guys, you draw the wall. When you do that, to get rid of divided by 2.4, or 2 4/10, you multiply by 2 4/10. So, we multiply by 2 4/10 on both sides. The 2 4/10 reduce out. You get x to equal, if you do 2 4/10 times 3, you'll end up getting 7.2. You get 72 when there's one number behind the decimal, so there's one number behind the decimal here. So your answer is 7.2, and it should be positive. So now when we go back to check that, we have x over 2.4 equals 3. So then you guys have to go ahead and plug in the 7.2. And then you just check it out. You do 7.2 divided by 2 4/10. Move the decimal over, take it straight up. 24 goes into 72. That's 3 times. 3 times 24 is exactly 72. So that's what we want. So it's just a positive 3, and that's what we were looking for. So since this is the same here, this is actually our answer. X equals 7 2/10. Next one. On this one, guys, you draw the wall. To get x by itself, you have to get rid of its 3.3 2/10 times x. To get rid of times 3 2/10, you have to do the opposite of times, which is divide by 3 2/10. From there, you guys get x equals, you have negative 9.6 divided by 3.2. Well, you know the answer is going to be negative because there's one negative. You move the decimal over, and how many times does 32 go into 96? That should be 3 times in this case. 3 times 32 is exactly 96, so we end up getting 3, and it is negative as our answer. So now I go back and I check it. I rewrite the problem. Then I plug in the negative 3. And then I do 3.2 times negative 3, and our answer should be negative. And one number's behind the decimal, so we're going to have one number behind the decimal in the answer. So it's going to be a negative 9 6/10. Questions? Well, I guess you guys can't ask any questions, so I'll ask you a question. How about this for the joke of the day? How do you get down from an elephant? Guys, you don't. You get down from a duck. I know some of you guys did not get that at all. Anyways, have a wonderful day.